Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with Battle Cats after playing it for about a month. Now I mainly just started getting into Battle Cats because I saw my friend playing it and I said, "Ooh, wait, I remember that game," and then I just got back into it. I will say, however, that a very embarrassing thing that I did. I played it for a little bit. I got past, I think, the first two cat stages, or not cat stages. What are they even called? I forgot their name already. Let me exit out here. Yeah, not Into the Future. Empire of Cats. Yeah, I got through like the first two chapters, and then I just kind of accidentally overwrit my save data once I basically, yeah, I just overwritten my save data on accident. So yeah, I had to make a fresh restart, but it really wasn't that big of a deal because of course I've now made all my progress on this new save. And yeah, I've really enjoyed the game over the past few months, or not past few months, over the past few weeks. And I will say that I have spent more money than I'm ashamed to admit how much money I've spent. And I'll admit it right now, I spent around $30 to $40 on the game. Yes, that is $30 to $40 too much. I will say that I normally am very good with not spending like any money, any microtransactions on any mobile games, but this is the only mobile game I play really. Like I used to play Clash of Clans and Clash Royale like religiously like a lot of people, then I just stopped. I got bored. But what I really like about Battle Cats is it has like basically infinite replay value because there's so many updates that come out and get rolled out, and there's a bunch of new cats, and then there's a bunch of really tough stages to counter those new cats. Like it just is an infinite cycle of just replayability that I really enjoy. But yeah, as I said, I spent a lot of money. In fact, I probably made one of my worst purchases in game yesterday to get a I think a platinum ticket and 2 million XP for $8, which is way too much. However, I will say the big reason why I spent that much money is mainly just to upgrade my Crazed Cats because I actually have made a fuck ton of progress in the last week and I've gotten like a fuck ton of Crazed Cats. Well, not a fuck ton. I haven't got like all of them, of course. I still need to get Crazed Lizard and Crazed Lion because those are also very viable Crazed Cats, and those are basically just very good. However, yeah, I've still made a ton of progress over the past few weeks, and I kind of want to share that with you. Uh, and also, I will say that my luck, especially in the gotcha pulls, has been kind of shit. I have been getting a lot of Uber rares, although unfortunately they're not very good ones. I have been getting like a few good ones here and there, but you know, as I said, they're just not amazing ones. They're just kind of average or just straight up dog shit or completely unusable in a lot of stages. And I'll get to that later. But I will say that, again, I've just been getting a lot of Uber rares and some rares, fortunately, as of late. But I've barely been getting any super rares. Like, the main majority of my super rares are the Crazed Cats. Like, that's how bad my selection of super rares are. Like, it's pitiful the amount of super rares I have. Like, I still don't have super, or not super, I still don't have Surfer Cat, still don't have Fencer Cat, still don't have Nerd Cat. Like, so many viable and fucking amazing cats I don't have yet. Because as I said, I get rather like the best luck ever and keep getting like Uber rares, or I have the worst luck ever and I keep getting dog shit Uber rares and just standard ass rares and duplicates like all the time. It seems like it's kind of a mix of both of those. But now I want to go through like probably my best Uber rares. Thundy is okay. Actually is like pretty good for like anti-black stages. I looked up Huntress. She seems also fine. Varus is actually pretty good. Probably one of the best in the like dragon banner thing that goes on every so often. So yeah, he's okay. That's why I've like upgraded to this level. Uh, Dioramos and Gladios are pretty shit. Heavy Jack is fine. He's probably the most like mid. I really don't like using that word because it's such an overused word, but he is the one. That's the one word. Yeah, that is the one word I can use to describe him. He is fucking mid, especially in the even in the Dragon like Emperor collection, whatever the fuck. He's still just kind of eh. Shida Kiri, Shida Kiri Sparrow is also probably the worst Uber Rare and Ultra Souls, and unfortunately I got him instead of Kazajizo, which sucks because Kazujizo is fucking phenomenal. Basically, every Battle Cats player knows this. Really, really good, especially against Angels and Blacks. This is fucking amazing. White Rabbit is also pretty mid. Like, as I said, again, I just keep getting uber rares, but like not very good ones. However, this kind of changes a little bit. Uh, what's his non-evolved Thunderjack is fine. He carried me throughout a lot of the early stages, but besides that, he's not really super viable. Maybe for clearing zombies, but that's about it. Or for doing a bunch of knockback. But besides that, it's not very good. But yeah, as I said, he was pretty good for early game. That's about it, though. However, this is where I get into the actual good shit. Kronos is still amazing. Still use it. Still use her in my deck currently. Just a very, very good support unit. Like, basically the only support unit I have, and a very, very good one at that. I'm very glad that I got Kronos, especially this early on. I think it was one of my second, like, probably my second pull from Uber Rare pull from the gacha. But then, this is what I spent my platinum ticket on. I'm not joking. Carousel. And I looked it up. This guy is like completely useless for like 99% of stages. And there's like maybe 3 or 4 stages where it's like actually useful. But besides that, he's pretty shit. And I'm really kind of upset that I got him out of my super platinum ticket. I'm not like the most upset, however, because I didn't really spend that much money just to get the platinum ticket. I mainly got it for the XP, but still, it's really annoying that I got probably one of the worst Ubers in the game, just from the platinum ticket. It's just annoying. However, this is juxtaposed by probably one of the best Ubers in the game. And this is probably, I think this was my first Uber Rare drop, which is insanely lucky. Yeah, Phono is phenomenal. I don't have like the best Uber Rares out of like every single one in the game, obviously, but he is one of the best. And yeah, I'm really, really glad that I got him. I'm going to try to make this a little quicker because I spent a little too much time, more than I'm willing to admit, on rambling on about Uber Rares. But yeah, this is where I get to the super rares, and a lot of them also are mid, but again, I just don't have that many. That's the big problem. Sadako is very, very good, especially for late game. I didn't realize how good he was, mainly because I didn't level him up enough to realize how good he was, but especially in his evolved form where he's immune to shockwaves, very fucking good and very, very powerful. I'm going to try to get him evolved as soon as I can, really. Face Cat is pretty shit. He was okay for like mid-game, or not mid-game, or like early game stages when I was still in like Empire of Cats and like the beginning of no, not even Into the Future, not even the beginning of that, just like the ending of Empire of Cats. But besides that, never really used Face Cat. There's so many better anti-reds in the game. Butterfly Cat is phenomenal, very, very good cat. Still use him. Very high DPS, very good rusher as well. Just a all-around pretty great cat, especially in his evolved form as well. Juliet, from what I've heard, also isn't that great, so just don't use her. Ring Girl is probably one of the best units I have in my deck. The only real tank I have in my deck as well. Just insanely powerful. Does a fuck ton of damage, like a stupid amount of damage to blacks. And thank God, because she's like the only anti-black I have in my deck. So I'm really glad that I got her to actually do something against blacks. Because otherwise, I don't know where I'd be without her, honestly. Next is Vulture Cat. I thought at first, like, looking at the stats, that it wasn't that good. However, now I realize, like, the range and the area attack is actually very, very useful. Especially for just doing, like, chip damage and all that. Just a very all-around solid cat, even though the stats don't look that great. Medalist is also pretty alright. Pretty good for taking out, like, backliners and all that, but I still don't use her. I used her mainly at the beginning when I first started, because I think she was the first super rare I got, so I just used her constantly. This is probably the most recent. I think this is the most recent uber rare I got, or not uber rare, I mean super rare, which is Cutter Cat, and is actually very, very good. Insanely good against reds, like stupidly good against reds. But besides that, I'm probably not going to use him, especially for a generalist deck, because he's pretty goddamn weak, and I know that's kind of his strength as well, because he gains the strength and ability once he gets, like, very, very low, but still, again, I want to have, like, more powerful units that still do a consistent amount of DPS, if that makes sense. And this is where I go into my Crazed Cats, where I've made a lot of progress this last week, and I got all these crazed cats, which isn't that much. It's only like four, but these are the like probably some of the most important ones, especially like Crazed Macho, especially Crazed Tank. You need to get Crazed Tank. I don't care what anybody says. He's basically probably the most important, probably the most important unit in the game. Like, he's extremely goddamn important. I'm super glad that I got him. And in fact, his stage wasn't even that difficult, although that was because I did kind of spam Phono, I'll be completely honest. But once I had like three of them on the stage, he just died, and yeah, it wasn't that bad. Sexy Legs Cat, on the other hand, that stage was actually pretty difficult for me, mainly because I didn't really have anything immune to the actual like wave attacks. So I just used Phono because he's immune to wave, and just spammed a fuck ton of other units, basically just a lot of meat shields, and it eventually worked out. Crazed Whale, I honestly, this is my first crazed cat that I got. And it's insane that this was the first one I got. However, I mainly just got through it because I did the continue, like the free watch an ad to get a free continue. I just did that, and then I just spammed Ubers, spammed like all my Ubers and Bahamut, and that's it. That's how I got through it. So yeah, I'm really, really happy that I got these four. I still need to definitely get Crazed Lizard, especially because I do not have any long range cats at all. As you can see, these are all of the super rares that I have. So I don't have server cat, I don't have nerd cat, I don't have like super important super rares that you basically need to get. I don't have any of them. As I said, my super rare selection is pretty goddamn slim. Next, I want to go into rares. Solar Cat is okay, pretty decent for taking out like pretty mid health aliens that don't do that much. However, for like very, very strong aliens, I would probably recommend something else. But I still do like the area attack and all that. Paris Cat is very, very good. Carried me throughout a lot of the early game. I do need to probably use her a little bit more because I've kind of gotten used to not using her, and I do need to like figure out how to use her again. But she is very, very good. Extremely strong DPS and just overall area of attack. Extremely strong unit. Basically, everybody knows this that has also played the game. I've heard Jurassic Cat is pretty good. That's why I upgraded him to this high of a level, but you know, I don't really use him yet. But I've heard he is pretty good. Pirate Cat is kind of shit. Bishop Cat, I've heard in his evolved form, is actually pretty good. Fortune Teller is kind of shit. Shaman is decent from what I've heard. Witch Cat is okay. Swordmaster is like bottom of the barrel. Do not use him unless it's very, very early game and you don't have any other good anti-reds like I did. Like, that's the only use case I can see of you using him. Otherwise, do not use him, like, at all. He's completely useless. Just get any other anti-red that actually does a fuck ton of damage, like Crazed Whale Cat, and then he's completely obsolete. Like, please do not use him. Gunslinger, I haven't looked up his stats yet, but he also seems kind of mid. Artist Cat is actually phenomenal. I love this guy. He is probably the single highest DPS unit in the in my deck, at least like at the very least like the cheapest one that I have. He's very, very cheap. He has a kind of long cooldown, but that makes sense because he does a fuck ton of damage and he has a decent amount of health. Very, very good cat. I really need to evolve him as well. Commando Cat, another very, very good, very high DPS, although he is extremely slow, and that is a downside, but he does a fuck ton of damage, and I know a lot of people that just spam this one cat and can just win. Like, he's that good. Psycho Cat, I really only upgraded him to his max form that I possibly can right now, mainly because I wanted to be Into the Future, and it did kind of help me with Into the Future Chapter 1. Now I'm currently on Into the Future Chapter 2, and Cats of the Cosmos, and I'm not very good at Cats of the Cosmos. I beat the first stage. I'm kind of stuck on the second stage, so yeah, that's about where I am in the standings. Umyoji Cat is actually good from what I've heard. I've seen a lot of people use him, especially in his evolved form, so I probably need to upgrade him a little bit more. I haven't heard like anybody use Walter Weight. I think he's only good for zombie stages from what I've heard, and that's it. Rover Cat is phenomenal, very, very good, especially for anti-alien, like Into the Future. Basically a necessity for Into the Future, because otherwise you're kind of boned unless you have like another really, really great anti-alien. Matador, I've actually heard has gotten a lot better as of recent, but still not the best rare cat. Sifu is very, very good. He's like my automatic pick when it comes to zombie stages and zombie outbreaks. Very, very good for countering zombies. Only problem is that he doesn't like outright kill them yet. I'm not sure if he does in his evolved form where he just prevents them from just reviving, but yeah, at least in this form right now, is not at his fullest potential yet. Then I got Pump Cat and like Delivery Cat from just like standard ass Stories of Legend, or not Stories of Legend, but you know what I mean. Just like what is it called? I'm terrible with names. They go back. Yeah, Legend Stages. I just got them from Legend Stages, and that's it. And then to wrap things up, let's go through just the normal cats I have: Macho Cat, Wall Cat. I still need to get Eraser Cat. Again, I'm really focusing on getting my user rank up. I need to get more XP to do that. I definitely also need to get Sexy Legs Cat to the level 30 because it's extremely good for countering aliens, and I need that right now because Wheel Cat just ain't cutting it. I'm sorry, this is not good enough. I think Sexy Legs Cat is going to be much better, especially for spamming. Just really, really good. I also do need Crazed, as I said, Crazed Cow and Crazed Lizard, because Crazed Cow is like a phenomenal rusher, and Crazed Lizard is a really, really good AoE long range attacker, which I need because I don't have any long range in my fucking deck besides Phono, and that's really it. I don't have any other cheap long range cats at all. Uh, UFO Cat is okay. Even the Manic version I've heard isn't the best. It's very situational. He does a pretty good amount of DPS, but he's just very weak. Whale Cat is like pretty obsolete once you get crazed. Whale Cat, like, don't use Whale Cat once you get crazed. Like, there's no point. Dragon Cat is still pretty good, long range, nice, good thing. Like the one nice thing about Dragon Cat, really. And then Mythical Titan Cat is fine. Like, he's pretty obsolete, as I said. Want to get more like better cats. And yeah, that's basically it. That's the rundown of all my cats. And if you guys haven't really like fully looked at my deck, this is my deck. And I think this is a decent generalist deck. I have the Sexy Legs, or Sexy... I have Crazed, Macho, or not Crazed Sexy Legs Cat to deal shockwaves and just do general like area attacks. And then I have Artist Cat for high DPS and decent amount of health. I have Rover Cat to counter aliens a little bit. I have Swimmer Cat to counter floating and also do have an actual rusher on the team. I know Crazed Macho can kind of count as that to like activate the base, but still, that Swimmer Cat is very, very good. Crazed Whale Cat is a very good anti-red. Um, as I said before, Ring Cat is extremely good for countering blacks, and my two Ubers are just good in general. So, yeah, I definitely need more of a generalist deck, especially as I get more super rares, as I said, going on, but still, yeah, I'm gonna try as hard as I can to get good gotcha pulls from now on. I mean, hopefully, I mean, it's just up to the luck of the draw, but I still need to get them. And also just beat more Crazed Cat stages, because as I said, I need Crazed Lizard and Crazed Cat, or Crazed Cow. Like, those are top priority for me. But yeah, that is basically it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.